Hey guys, I know it's been a while. It's been a year or two since I made a video, but today we'll be talking about a user that's pretty well known in the Mii community who is known for his Mii animations and his gameplay on Wii content. Miitonio, a lot of his viewers, however, some or most people are not aware behind the screen of someone who is very controversial and has done some inexcusable things such as his Discord server, which he has opened since May of 2021, and it was supposed to be a peaceful environment for Mii content creators. But the problem with a certain group of haters known as Ben Gamer and Untitled Gamer, also known as UG, November of 2021, Miitonio's first server was raided. He then opened another one shortly after, promising to keep everyone safe, but it has been shown he failed to keep his server safe in the first place. But us mods and admins had to keep it safe for him and tried to keep him out of trouble. But every time we did, he always found himself to get into trouble every time. And many of us, such as myself, had to clear his name multiple times. This has also led to a lot of his mods getting put in severe danger, as they end up getting hacked, harassed, or even doxxed. This proves how much of a horrible leader Miitonio is. He doesn't have a single clue to what he is doing, and I'm getting tired of him acting like he knows what he is doing when it is clear that he does not realize what his actions lead to. Another detail to point out that he mentions that he doesn't have enough time to chat with his friends because of his life outside the internet, which is understandable. However, he seems to waste some of his life on drama online, especially with trolls who are haters to him. He claims he is trying to defend himself and everyone he cares about. However, it just comes off as a waste of fucking time when he could just literally block and ignore them, instead of trying to speak to them and giving them the attention that they want. Maybe if he just made wiser choices, he and his mods wouldn't feel so drained. In mid-2023, Miitonio started to dox UG because of his frustration with him, causing him to do absolutely one of the worst things that you can do to somebody. And he had a YouTube channel doxing him and posted all of his personal information alongside this. He ended up doxing someone named Carlos and showed his personal information, and he hasn't learned his lesson. Back in December of 2022, a user known for Mega Man edits, gacha, and Mii content known as Mega Natty, who has been exposed for a pedophile for talking to someone who was 14, FYI, Natty is another person you should avoid. Miitonio claimed he had broke up with her, but it's been shown, and he has been exposed by Deadmau5, that they're still together. And he says it's all in the past and that he's changed. Well, Miitonio, once a pedophile, always a pedophile. And this year, Miitonio has made some emojis out of Chemzilla, showing his privates. And for your information, Chemzilla is 17. Not to mention, most of the people in his server were minors. What the hell, Miitonio? Why would you do that to a server with minors? He's also known for being a hypocrite, since he did say he doesn't want people leaking anything from his server, but he would do it intentionally. He has a problem when people talk crap behind his back, but he has no shame of talking about others behind their back, such as James YT, Star, Libra, and such. Also, for your information, Star is another person you should avoid, by the way. Hell, he even uses others for his work. And he even talks some shit to Max, saying he's not attacking Max, which is very ironic, that he hates when people make jokes about, quote, please take consideration, because apparently that moment is embarrassing to him. But he has no shame in reminding other people about moments they wanted to forget about Carlos. Even if it was a month or two ago, this still makes him come off as a hypocrite, especially with the other insufferable jokes he participated in, such as the ones mentioned earlier with the doxing and the private part joke, and others who weren't mentioned that he has also done. He tries to act like he's changed when he was first exposed back in 2024, that he learned his lesson, just because it was all in the past. However, things he did in the past is still a major problem as of today, that it does not make a difference. Just because it was in the past doesn't justify, the past doesn't go away that easily. In reality, Miitonio hasn't changed at all. He is still the same controversial person he was before, and if not, maybe even more controversial. Oh, and Miitonio, if you are watching this, please take consideration. And what I mean by that, I mean take accountability for your actions, not behind your personal life, or not hide behind your mods. You, sir, are talking to somebody who's not afraid of calling you a coward. actions will have consequences, the major consequence being the absolute downfall of Miitonio. Overall, you're just a terrible person and you need to be gone.